friends, it's me, Johnny Fox, with another week's worth of Foxx Tales. As always, I don't tell the tales. This guy does. With me this week, we have Steve Dalton of the Shuddas.
Good evening and welcome.
Evening. So, let's just roll straight on. The Shuddas.
Yeah.
Let's get straight into that. There's a story behind that name, right?
It's just a joke name. We couldn't, you know what it's like looking for names, absolute nightmare. So I just thought about we're all like gentlemen of a certain age, you know what I mean? And like some people might think you should have packed it in by now. So pretty much that's it. Should have called it a day by now, but I enjoy it too much, so you know, bollocks to that.
Oh, fair enough.
I'll be doing it well.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think the names are the worst. They're either however cool you think they are, but then you stop and look and they're all just like pretentious.
And the other nightmare
or they're like comedy names.
Yeah.
If you're not really going down that road.
Like any band name we looked at, there were already someone on Spotify or YouTube or somewhere.
Yeah.
And the Shuddas that I found that didn't have anybody else on Spotify or YouTube, so I thought, oh, that's pretty good. And then when I tried to put some stuff on Ditto so I could send it for streaming on Spotify, it said there is a name, and it was a Manchester ska band. They split up about 10 years ago. It's exact same name, so but we've managed to keep it somehow. We've done a little bit of jigging about, and I think we've managed to keep it. So hopefully we'll have no issues, legal requirements. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So so how long have the Shuddas been a thing?
About 2 years, something like that. But there used to be a band called Black Vines. I don't know if you've heard of Black Vines from band. And me and Hutch, the bass player, were two of the members, and other two members. One went and formed another band, Soma. They're really good. And then the drummer went to live back up in Redcar, where he's from, near Newcastle. And so we were like stuck. And a guy called John helped us out on drums for about a year. And he played his last gig with us on Barnsley Live 2023. It was a fantastic day. But afterwards he says, you know what, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. Like he's happy just playing in this kind of session band that he does. Yeah. So we were looking for another drummer, and Mark was just coming out of Joker Among Thieves, the drummer. And like I'd met him a couple of times. He was a nice bloke, and we got on really well. So he came around it wasn't even an audition. We just came around to jam, you know, and play. He was great, you know, and he's got better and better since. Like it's a good fit. So yeah, we're really enjoying it.
I was lucky enough. I had him depth for me once, and like with no rehearsals or anything, just a whole bunch of musical interests, you know, the same stuff. So it's like, oh, it's that kind of thing, is it? It's just like, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. It was great.
It's been great. So since he started, we've pretty much, we didn't know what to do initially. We were just going to go out and do covers, you know, for a laugh now and again. But typically, both me and Hutch are quite creative. Mark Swaller's quite creative. So we decided to start writing songs, and we're buzzing off it at the minute. You know, we've got 10 new songs we've written in the past year, and then like there'll be some more eventually. But we can't afford to record them as quick as we're making them up, if you know what I mean. So we've done 5. They're going to be released next week. I guess we could talk about that in a bit.
Oh yeah.
Just on streaming. We're not bringing CDs out or anything like that because I don't know if people use them anymore. But yeah, so we've got plenty of stuff going ahead. We've got a couple of gigs lined up, but we want more gigs, and we want to, you know, promote ourselves as much as possible while we still can. You know, and it's great. We're just enjoying it, to be honest.
Oh, definitely. So, what would you? I know because I do, and I know most musicians that I talk to. I know we're not massive fans of labels, of putting labels on things. This is punk, this is metal, or whatever. But we've got to, in the name of trying to sell ourselves out there. So what do you?
Right. Well, I don't know if you've seen it
the Shuddas.
On our posters. I don't know if you've noticed, we put Rocky Poppy Punky or Rocky Punky Poppy. Change them, but like those two things, we're quite heavy. Both me and Hutch love a bit of like old kind of rock, and he likes a bit of metal. I like old school rock, like Thin Lizzy and Rainbow and Deep Purple and all that kind of stuff. Mark Swaller likes all kinds of 80s stuff, punk stuff, rock stuff, and it's just a mishmash or anything, but like we'll try and do something. We did a Fun Boy 3 song when we first started and rocked it up a bit. It sounded like Weezer playing a Fun Boy 3 song. It was good. So we do like a bit of melodic poppy elements, but we've got a couple of quite heavy songs as well, and they go down well. So they're great fun to play. But most of the time, I'm a big new wave fan. That's my era. We're about 13, 14 when new wave came out, and I loved all that. I loved all new wave of British heavy metal stuff, Maiden and Judas Priest and all that. So it's in there. You can hear it in us when we play our stuff. There's no doubt about it. So rocky, punky, poppy. Yeah, can't just choose one.
Yeah, I was going to say if it's rocky, punky, poppy. I was going to ask, do you still speak to Snap and Crackle, or are they just dead to you?
That's just a bad joke, that joke.
Yeah, people don't come here for the comedy. But yes, let's dig a little deeper on that. So personally, seeing as you're the one I've got here, obviously the hardest working member of the band. Clearly.
I guess. I do most of it writing, and I'm the one that like annoys them by messaging and saying, "Can we rehearse and let's do another day?" And I've got another story, So it's mainly me for that. But we're a pretty good unit, you know what I mean? There's like we all do stuff. Like Mark's really good at promoting us. Hutch is fantastic at graphic design. I generally come up with songs, but we all can chip in with riffs and ideas. Yeah, it's a proper open.
That's a good team. If I had a simpler team, I wouldn't be here talking to you now and probably be gigging.
Being interviewed.
But, we can't have everything. So we mentioned a few, but dig a little deeper. So your personal influences then, maybe like back in the day, the Shuddas have been a 2-year thing, but you've been kicking around playing for a lot longer than that. Who were the artists that kind of made you go like, I could do that, or I want to do that?
Immediately, it was Pistols. I love Steve Jones' guitar sound. I've got a Les Paul and a Marshall now that I use for gigs sometimes, and that's the sound. That's the sound that I try and get, the kind of poppy Pistols' sound. But I diversified into like more classic kind of rock, like Deep Purple on that, and so. Like I said, you can hear some of that in my music, but really, it's a wide spectrum. I've got another project on the side that like is more kind of acoustic stuff as well, because like I just love all kinds of music. But Shuddas is me rock vehicle, and I'm loving it. Yeah, it's great fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always struggled. I'll respect anyone, but I've always struggled that people kind of are very, very like they listen to the one thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for me, if you agree, for me, it's music. It's very mood orientated, emotional kind of a thing. And I like the metal as much as the next guy, quite obviously. But like, I'm just not always that angry. Like I said, sometimes I want an acoustic record or whatever. So I'm also very eclectic, and I just think I can't see why everybody isn't. And it's kind of, it makes conversations like this difficult because it's like, oh, so what do you like? Everything. Okay, fuck you.
Yeah,
but it's true. I know it's true because I do.
The way I see it, I mean, Shuddas is what it is because it's us three in the band. Yeah. If there was someone who was like a great keyboard player, it'd start going a different way. You know, and if there were someone who was a bit more, someone who was like a more jazz funk bass player, we'd start going that way. It's just it's the three people that have got together and making the music that we make, but we've all got quite different tastes. I mean, some of the bands that I love, Hutch, the bass player, won't entertain. He's like, "No, I'm not playing any of that stuff." And likewise with some of his stuff, it's like a bit too harsh on my ears. But we meet in the middle, like, and it sounds pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty good. So we've got an EP out next week. We've got some gigs in the pipeline, plenty more to come, no doubt.
Yeah.
So is there what's like a, I don't know. I was going to say, if I can do this in 2 ways, what's the sort of like the realistic sort of goal in the like relatively short term way
Short term,
like
we'd be happy
for this year.
for this year.
Like, when you
we'd be
look
happy
back
like we.
this year.
Yeah.
What do you hope you've?
We'd be happy with a couple of gigs per month, in decent venues, of course, like rocking venues where people appreciate music. And we've played a few pubs, and there's a football crowd in or something. It's not what they're there. They're not interested in music. So but like we played Yorkshireman a few weeks ago in Chef just before Christmas, or it might have been just after Christmas. It were a great gig, absolutely right laugh. You know what I mean? And we didn't expect it. We were late night on a Friday night. There were plenty of people. There were 3 bands on, all very different from each other. But it were an awesome night, and like we've had lots of people like messaging us since and talking about all the gigs and stuff like that. So it was worth doing, and it was good fun. I really enjoyed it. So because there's a crowd of people here that want to listen to that kind of music, so we want more of them kind of gigs. But I just don't know so many. Coming from Barnsley, we know venues around here that do that kind of stuff. But even Sheffield is new to us because we're a new band. So we want to start playing a little bit more regular in Sheffield. If I can get a corporation gig, that'd be great. Ultimately, for me, if we could get a decent crowd of people through to some of the size of Home Firth Picturedrome or something like that, that would be awesome. A brilliant stage, brilliant soundman. I know soundman is great, Marcus, and just the right amount of size crowd. That'd do for me. I could do that rest of my life if we got a chance. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah. So I was going to say, just as a part 2, perhaps it's pure fantasy here, but is there like a dream venue you'd like to play, be it just for yourself or as the Shuddas? But
I don't think massive. My favourite venue that I've ever seen bands was Sheffield City Hall. I would love to play Sheffield City Hall. Yeah, saw Lizzie there, so I am made there.
That's doable.
And stuff. Oh, fantastic! So I'd love to watch it. I'd love to play there and stand on them same boards that me heroes did when I was like 16, 17.
Yeah,
that'd be it.
Yeah, I did. I played the Lead Mill.
Yeah.
In Sheffield, the week after Joe Strummer. The Mascaleros, which was amazing for me. Even more amazing to have played it the week before, supporting him. But
on the same night, it'd been even better.
But still, we played the week after, and I'm just thinking, how much cleaning do you think they do? Is his sweat still on this stage, still down here?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Yeah. But so, what do you you kind of mentioned it briefly there. Do you prefer either when, I don't know if it's any different when watching the gig to when you're playing the gig, but do you prefer like an eclectic lineup of 3 or 4 bands of different genres, or do you prefer the night to be themed?
I think I prefer. Pretty much the same. I like the bands to be somewhat like each other. Like if they're too eclectic, if you get like someone with acoustic playing like really sad folky songs, and then you've got a death metal band, and then a ska band or something, that doesn't suit for me. It's too much messing about. But like if they're on a similar vein, I appreciate that. I usually like to just see 2 bands though, like a support slot, shortish set, half an hour, 3/4 an hour, and then the headline band. That's my ultimate. 3 or 4 bands sometimes. Festivals, you get bored by it, and it gets a bit much, doesn't it? If you've been stood up all day in a festival watching bands, I mean, it's great to say you were there, but after a while, you're fed up. And you're not taking it on board.
Yeah. So what? So what are the, so would you be the main lyricist?
Yeah.
The band is that.
Yeah, I'm the only lyricist.
So do you find the inspiration for your lyrics? Does that often come at like the most inappropriate times where they've got no chance of writing anything down or whatever, and you're probably going to forget it? But
it's not bad. I've got a fair bit of time on music, mate. So I only work about 3 or 4 days a week, and so I've got a couple of days where I can sit and get so bored that I'm willing to, I'll write something or do something, right? Because boredom's my friend if I want to be creative. Like if I'm busy all the time, cracking on with stuff, I'm not thinking about music that much. But once I've got a bit of time on my hands, that's all I think about. And so yeah, lyrics. We'll come up with a riff or something. Like Hutch will come with a riff, or I'll make a riff up, and then we'll jam it about at the rehearsal space, and then I'll generally come away and try and think of an idea. It can be anything. It can be relationship stuff. It can be stuff to do with news that's annoying me. You know, it's generally a bit angry because we're a rocking band.
Yeah.
And then let's have a think. One of the most recent ones, we've not recorded this, but we've rehearsed it like mad. We're going to be playing it next Friday, first time we play it live. At the what they call it launch for the EP. We've written a song. It's about 6-7 minutes long, but the lyrics are based on a dream that I had. And a weirdest dream. I could tell you about it if you want. It's a weird frigging dream, bro. And I wrote some lyrics based on that. And it sounds a bit creepy. It's a weird song, but it just came from a dream. I woke up at 4 in the morning and I just remember thinking, that's an amazing dream. You know, I hope I remember that in the morning, and I did.
Yeah.
So I told the lads about it. Your Mark Swaller said, "He said, why don't you write a song about that?" I said, "You know what, I'm gonna." That's what we did. And we got this heavy, dirty bass that Hutch had come up with. And I've sprung some lyrics over it, and it built into some really epic sound. It's a good song. So I'm looking forward to playing that next Friday.
Yeah, well, it sort of 6-7 minutes long. It may be a good one. Some people keep telling me nobody's got an attention span for like anything over about.
Well, you know, this is it. I can't imagine many youngers coming to see us who like Billie Eilish or something. So I'm not worried about that. The people that might come and see us and enjoy it will be people that, you know, I've got a fondness for Iron Maiden and, you know, old rock stuff that they didn't mind having songs over 3 minutes long. So, but most of the songs are about 3 or 4 minutes. But we've got a couple of epics, you know.
Oh, fantastic! That's good. If there's one thing that's always wound me up, it's seeing a band, and you know they hit the stage and they fire up, and I'm thinking, this is all right. I'm gonna like these. And the longer they play, I'm like, oh, that was fucking great. And then there's the next song. And then there's the next song. And then sort of the penny starts to drop. I feel like they've played the same song 3 times, right?
Yeah. They've got a formula.
Now 4 times. Now 5. They've been playing the same song for 30 fucking minutes. Yeah. And I really liked them like half an hour ago. And I'm not so keen now. There's nothing worse than that for me.
Yeah. The difficulty with it, if you're writing, is trying to force a style so that you keep writing the same songs. You shouldn't force it. Just come up with a song, and then if it suits, eventually, you know, there's no way we'd sound like no one would say every song is massively different from each other, but no one had said that they're exactly the same. Different rhythms, you know, different keys. Different vocal attacks. Sometimes I've got stats lyrics they have to try and spit out. Sometimes it's just a few gliding over the top of the song. Just whatever suits the song is important for me. And so, you know, style comes in on its own, I guess, then, rather than forcing it, thinking, oh, I wrote that one last time, it sounded great, so I'm going to do another one just like that. I can't do that anyway. Yeah.
No. So as the songwriter, I mean, for me, I totally fell into that category of like, someone asks, like, what's your favourite song? It's the next one.
Yeah.
We're
like that, yeah.
I was one for very quickly kind of going off stuff, wanting to get the new ones out there, get the new ones jammed, get them learned, and then I've got the set list, and I'm like, mate, we're going to do these. It's like, we're not ready for them. I'm like, well, fucking I am. So I want to do the new ones all the time. If I was lucky enough to have had a hit, a Stairway to Heaven, a Boys Are Back in Town, or whatever, I would be the one going, I'm not playing that shit anymore. It's done. It was good. It was fine, but we've played it. We played it when we wrote it. We released it. People want to hear it. It's on record. It's fine. I'm done with that. So I'd probably get lynched. Oh, that's fine. I'm glad we didn't have a hit.
Yeah, I think if money were rolling in, you'd probably change your mind. But like, I can understand. Yeah. As a fan, I know I like to go and watch a band, and I like it if they do play songs that I recognise. Yeah. But at the same time, I can understand why the band get frustrated just doing, you know, old stuff all the time. So it's going to be a bit of a mix anyway.
Yeah.
So, but all that stuff's fresh at the minute, yeah. So all that stuff's pretty.
It can be quite easy sometimes to to spot the musicians in an audience when you're
Yeah.
watching a band.
Yeah.
You can see the appreciation for the new songs. Like even if yeah, we all prefer the classics. We all want to hear "Run to the Hills" or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But you've come to see them on this tour. That the only reason they're touring is to promote the new album.
Yeah.
To then complain that they're playing songs from this album.
Yeah.
It's
No,
a
I
bit
wouldn't.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what were
wouldn't
you
complain
expecting
about
to hear? They'll be doing a greatest hits tour next year or whatever. Like, save your money for that then.
it. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But we never got anywhere near that stage, so
Well,
we're
no.
just happy to be playing it all, you know.
But I did remember it was a few years back. We went to see Maiden, and there were all these old geezers, and they were just stood, rooted to the spot, arms folded, like arrogantly, stubbornly waiting
Yeah.
for something that was like anything. I'm sure they were like anything before 1985 will do, Bruce. Come on.
Yeah.
And it was like,
After that, we're
why are
not
you
bothered.
even here?
Yeah.
They'll do a few towards the end, but like they're here to promote the album, the new
Yeah.
one, and it ain't bad. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Maiden, so if you like one, you should like them all because it's Maiden. I like them, but you've got to admit it's kind of, they sort of sound the same.
Yeah, they've
But
got
you
a
know,
formula. They've got a
yeah,
formula, there's no doubt about it, but you know, it's working great for a minute, so as if
still
they're going to
is.
change.
Yeah,
As if they're going to change.
not sure how much longer they've got left. It sounds like the beginning of the end. Bruce is constantly doing interviews about they're going to need a new singer, but I'm going to pick who it is.
Oh, yeah.
And now the drummer's retired, so
What Nico Eyes isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
good
he's
old
gone.
man.
Yeah,
That's
he'll be gone.
it. I mean, takes it out on drummers and it takes it out of singers, but guitar players and bass players and keyboard players can crack on forever, really, can't they? So.
Anyway, so let's let's learn a little bit more about Mr. Kids. If you're just tuning in late, you've missed it. It's been brilliant. We've been hilarious. There's been nudity, violence, drugs. It's been fantastic, and you've missed it. But there's still plenty of
I'll
fun to
miss
come,
it.
just for a little bit longer. We're going to play a game. We're going to play a little bit of this or that.
All right, go on then. I've no idea what this
Simple
is.
questions. There are no wrong answers, and there are no prizes for you. So don't worry about it.
I'm not going to worry about it.
I've started getting a few new ones because they're getting a bit old, even for me to say, never mind people to hear. But I'm going to start with cats or dogs.
Dogs. I'm allergic to cats anyway.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that solves that one. Sweet or savoury?
I've got a sweet tooth, me. I want to say sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I have both. Like one seems to instigate the other. If I have a bit of one, I have a craving for the other. In either way around, I don't know why that happens. Okay, you're a morning person or a night person?
Night, without a doubt.
Okay, would you rather have ice cream that never melts or pizza that never gets cold?
Pizza. Yeah. Pizza.
Yeah. Pizza that never gets cold.
Ice cream melting's part of the pleasure, isn't it? You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean, to be fair, pizza's all right cold. I've had my fair share of cold breakfast pizza.
It's very warm.
All right. What about bath or shower?
Shower. I'm a shower man.
Yeah. I mean, either way, all the ladies get to picture you naked based on that question because
I'm sure
sex sells.
I'm sure they want to erase that from the memory as quick as they can.
Okay. Oh, here's one. Would you rather have infinite knowledge or infinite creativity?
Ooh. That's an hard one, that, because I appreciate both quite a lot. Yeah. If you can have one way out of the other, to be honest. But I'll say knowledge, even though I'm a creative person. You know, you can never learn too much. I'd like to know a lot more than I know already.
Yeah. Oh, always learning. We're always learning, kids.
Quantum
Right,
mechanics.
do you prefer to host a party or attend a party?
Or attend. Not even that bothered about parties. You know,
Oh, yeah.
unless it's music, unless it's musical, I ain't bothered, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Oh, here's a fun one. Okay. Would you rather be a genius in a world of fools or a fool in a world of geniuses?
uh, I'd like to be a genius. Full stop. So yeah, I'll go for that one. Yeah.
um, okay. Would you rather fart confetti or burp glitter?
You know, I've thought about this so many times.
It's, it's a
I'm
pressing
gonna go
question.
for I'm gonna go for farting. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farting glitter.
Farting
Brilliant.
glitch. I thought you were farting confetti.
All right. Polka dots or stripes?
Boss.
Would you rather see a puppet show or a magic show?
Magic. I don't believe in
Magic, right.
magic, but I like the trickery of it. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I was going to ask. So, I always ask, do you prefer like the close up, pick a card, any card, ball in a cup kind of stuff, or the like make the Empire State Building disappear
I
illusion kind
prefer close-up stuff. I like because I
Yeah,
know it's all trickery, but I'm always amazed when if you're stood next to someone and they can baffle you with their hands. We saw one at a wedding last year. And he came round and we were just doing dead simple tricks, and I just thought, you know, it's amazing. I wish I could do it, but it takes me
yeah.
ages to get to that level. Ages longer than I've got,
It,
you know. So,
it is a skill. It may not
yeah,
be magic as we want to believe it as children, but it's
yeah,
certainly a skill,
yeah.
and it's not easy to learn.
No, it's brilliant. I do appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, have you ever seen a UFO, Steve?
No, I mean, I thought I did when I was a kid, like most people, you know. But
Yeah.
I think it was just imagination. I've lost. I don't believe in any of that stuff anymore. I've got a bit old and cynical, I think. So yeah, if there's UFOs, it's something from this planet. It's not from another planet. I don't think. Now I know how big space is. Anyway, it'll take them too long to get here. It's crazy. But yeah,
It would be quite a feat. Have you ever seen a ghost?
no, because I don't
Or
believe in
felt a ghost?
it.
No.
No, I don't believe in any of that stuff. I told
Yeah,
you,
we're
I'm a right skeptic.
all just worm food waiting to happen.
Yeah. I just don't believe in any of that stuff.
So, did you get any time? Do you indulge in the cinema much?
Not lately. I've not been at cinema for. Well, yeah, I did. I went and watched that thing with Hugh Grant, where he was a murderer. Did you see
All
that
right,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, with the two Jehovah's Witness girls who came in, or Mormons, whatever. That was quite a good film. Yeah,
Yeah.
it started off better than it finished, but it was a good film. I enjoyed it. But that was the last thing I saw at cinema. I don't go as often as I'd like to go, but I don't think they make films that I want to watch as much. You know, I'd
Yeah.
probably go and watch. I'd go and watch reruns of Alien and The Thing and
Oh,
all the films I loved when I used to go to cinema all the time.
yeah.
I'd like to watch them again on cinematic, but
Well,
they're like
that's
big epic films. Yeah,
yeah. The reruns are very much a thing.
yeah, they're coming out.
So when like the 20th, 30th, or whatever anniversary
Yeah,
comes up, and you can regularly find these things showing somewhere if you either to
yeah,
relive or if you miss things if you're a little bit younger. It's partly because well, partly because nostalgia kind of makes money,
yeah,
always has, always will, but also partly with the writers and the actors strike from the other
yeah,
year, which just put a stop on everything. So it was like, well, bring out the back catalogue or there's nothing to
yeah,
show. So that
yeah,
kind of boosted it. And when they found like audiences actually attended these things, it's like, oh,
yeah.
oh, we'll start doing that on
Don't
purpose then,
don't even
shall
have to
we?
make a film. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's crackers, isn't it?
You're like, yeah. All of a sudden, it's like, Retro Wednesdays are a thing or whatever. It's like, oh, you worked that
That's
out, did
exactly.
you?
Yeah.
But yeah, so a bit of a sci-fi guy or a horror guy.
Sci-fi mainly.
Yeah.
Sci-fis and thrillers are my bag, I suppose. Yeah, like
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, really. Yeah, but again, the classic. I like modern sci-fi, like Inception and stuff like that, fairly modern. But
Yeah.
it's the classics: Alien, Aliens, The Thing. They're my
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Really fantastic, brilliant.
Yeah.
In fact, to be honest, pre-CGI for some reason seems more appealing to me. You know, when they had to try hard to make monsters work
Yeah.
when they were actually, you know, through filmic effects and stuff like that, rather than just sticking it on the computer. And you know,
You know.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm bored of
That's.
seeing that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like what
That it
what
comes up a lot.
I saw. I went to see Spider-Man. It might have been Homecoming or one of
Yeah.
them anyway. And I enjoyed the story. It was a good film and that, but it's like watching a game, a video game. It's
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
something's like you're seeing bouncing off the walls, you know, really fast. It's
Yeah.
all CGI. It's obviously not a person. I'm not, you know, I don't think
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not.
I mean, there's only so much you can do. You know, practically. I mean,
Yeah,
I get that. The more adventurous you want to be, the more out there you want the storyline to
yeah,
be. You want the aliens to be, or the powers to be, or whatever. Then,
yeah,
yeah, it's got its place. But I like a balance. I think where you can go practical, because they're throwing like 300, 400 million dollars at this shit,
isn't it?
and
Right.
it doesn't cost $300 million for someone to click a mouse a few times. I'm not knocking people who work really hard in the effects
Yeah,
business. I know they do, and I know it's not really that simple. But compared to like the boys and girls who who designed the alien costume, the
mm,
xenomorph costume, or like the predator costume and
yeah,
things like that, the the actors in these suits trying to make that
yeah,
seem a little less human-like or seem more believable. All of that skill and attention to detail.
yeah.
It's even in you know
It's a matter of balance, isn't it? Because
yeah
I mean, Jurassic Park would have been a pretty shit film if it had just been puppets, right?
yeah
It needed to have CGI, but it did it brilliantly because Spielberg. But I
yeah
mean, the bits with the T Rex squashing the kids in the car, right? It was a massive big head, you
yeah
know, covered in
yeah
real rain that was like pouring on it. It looked real because that bit were real, and it worked
yeah
better for the close-ups. The distant shots, didn't mind them being CGI, but the
yeah.
close-up shots tended to be real, and then someone put some right effort in to make them look real, and I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, I think that the blending, I think that's the way to go. I mean, like the Lord of the Rings
Yeah, I love Lord of
trilogy. Like,
fantastic. I love
actually
Gollum.
get off your
Yeah,
ass and go to New Zealand, so it's got the legitimate physical look of what you're wanting. And yes, you get
absolutely.
10 people on horses. Now you've got 10,000, but
Yeah,
we we got 10 people. But like when you put it together, that's the
and
answer.
that were good use of CGI. Like, Lord of the Rings is fantastic. Yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hobbit, I'm not so sure, but the Lord of the Rings fantastic. A bit more earthy.
Yeah, I think this. I think the insistence on, like, okay, we've just made 3 films based on 3 relatively lengthy books,
Yeah,
where the films kind of end in weird places that they're not specifically. The film doesn't entirely represent
yeah, yeah.
each
No,
book totally accurately, but still 3 books, 3 films, and then we'll take one book that's the
stretchy.
shorter book, that's the
Yeah,
kind of simpler book,
yeah.
and somehow make that into a trilogy in and of itself
Should have
was instantly
been a
a bad
one-film.
idea to me straight away.
Even if it had been a 3 hour film, that would have been better
Yeah,
than three-hour films. It was just too much, way too much. You know, there weren't enough stretching the story out. It's a shame though,
it
because I know
it
that
is.
Hobbit's my favourite book out of that lot, but Lord of the Rings were the better movie,
Yeah,
I thought.
yeah, definitely agreed. I like the Hobbit. I don't know if I like the Hobbit the best book. Just again, like a nostalgia thing. Hobbit was the book that I found, and
Yeah, yeah.
I found it on my own with like no real knowledge of
Oh, really?
Lord of the Rings. I wasn't really all that aware. It
Yeah.
just it was in the library, and that's just a weird word. What the fuck? What's a hobbit? And then you kind of read the blurb on the back and
Oh,
go,
that's good.
"Oh, like sounds like fantasy and dragons and shit." Oh well, okay. We'll give that a whirl.
Yeah.
So then you find out there's more.
Yeah.
It's always good when there's more.
Yeah, I didn't come to it. I came to it through a teacher. When I first started at secondary school, which I didn't particularly like secondary school, but in the first years, my form tutor, he used to read us The Hobbit in English lessons, and he used to do the voices and like explain bits that you might struggle with.
Oh,
And I was engrossed. It was fantastic. He was brilliant. He was a good teacher, and then the book were amazing. I bought it, read it to my kids when they were younger, like my lads. Anyway, yeah, brilliant. So yeah, it's always stuck with me. That excellent.
Oh, fantastic. So what's okay? So back to music, because I want to get this in, if possible. I always like to try and. I was going to say I like to try and out people, but I maybe probably should find
You never know.
terminology. Well, that's what. Look, I don't personally. I don't agree with the concept of a guilty pleasure. I like what I like, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I like Gary Newman. And I like Thin Lizzy, and I like everything in between. I like XTC. I like Cyndi Lauper. I like a whole bunch of shit. So I don't really do that. But
you're gonna ask me what my guilty pleasure is, aren't you?
If you want your guilty pleasure is, but more in the sense of like, is there like an artist that you think that people might be sort of surprised that you like? It might be a bit of a surprise to some people. Oh, really? You like that?
Yeah. I suppose the closest one. I like some ways. I like, I've been to see Michael Jackson, for God's sake, and I thought he were amazing at the time in '80s, before he went totally bonkers like. But yeah, just a great performer, and he's got a few good songs. So I did like Wacko, so that might surprise a few people. But I've got a couple of albums. I only like about 3 or 4 songs on each one. By Neil Sedaka that I inherited from my dad, because like I nicked them from him, because there's a couple of songs on there that are just fantastically well written, well sung, well performed songs from '70s. '70s production is fantastic as well. So that's another thing. But yeah, so a bit of Neil Sedaka. That's my guiltiest pleasure. Yeah, I think guilty pleasure.
A good song is a good song is a good song. But when it's a well-written song, there's a craft. There's a somewhat of a formula.
Yeah.
And one of the ways to tell a good song is when it's covered and covered and covered and covered, and it's covered in different genres, and it still works.
Yeah.
Because it will. Like I've seen, I don't know if you've seen the heavy metal ABBA sort of tribute band.
No.
That does the rounds. Oh, so good. So I say heavy metal, but it is very much in the like it's sort of Nawabum, an old classic rock heavy metal sort of style. Not so much Slipknot, more Iron Maiden than the really really growly stuff or whatever. But yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, I don't mind a bit of ABBA.
There's a lot of concepts.
Rock it up like that.
Yeah.
And, I had a good time.
There's a few bands, man. There's that Elvis guy with Elvana. They're going around at the minute. Elvis Elvana. There were Led Zeppelin like 30 years ago or so, 40 years ago. They were great, great. Just a hybrid music. It's a bit of a gimmick, but I like it. You know what I mean? It's
the beat holes.
What do they do then?
The beat holes. They do Beatles, but they do it kind of like the Ramones doing the Beatles.
No, I've not seen them.
Yeah, it's all like super fast.
Right.
Pumped up.
Like
distorted.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, kind of, very much, yeah. But anyway, kids, I'm going to let him get off. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, is that 50 minutes? Excellent.
It flies by. It flies by. I've got some chores to do, and I'm struggling to speak with whatever's wrong with my nose. But I'm English, so I'm not going to bother a doctor with a blocked nose, am I? No matter how long it drags on for, or how annoying it is. But anyway, thank you very much for your time. This has been Steve Dalton of the Shuddas. SHUDDAS.
Don't forget. streaming Bite the World by the Shuddas EP next Thursday. It's streaming next Thursday, and we've got a gig launching it on the Friday in Vault 27 in Barnet. See you later.
Stream it as a Valentine's gift for someone.
Yeah.
Do it with candles and the Shuddas playing in the background and a bubble bath and all that. I mean, she'll love it. She'll love it. What more would a woman want?
Absolutely.
But
it's all about love.
If you hit up the socials, find out when the next gigs are, next releases are. There'll be plenty coming up. I'm quite sure. But if you could just do one last thing for me, because this is the thing I do now, to end the show. I don't end the show. You do. If you could just look down that camera for me, and if you could just give the line, till next time, keep it foxy.
I'll do that for you, mate.
I appreciate it.
All right. I'm getting off. What is it?
Till next time.
Till next time. I'll try and look at my camera. Right. Till next. Stay to eyes. I'm knackered. Till next time. Keep it foxy.
You heard it here, kids.
See you later, mate.
On the other side.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much indeed.